Hey YouTube, it's Marida from Nurse Lounge, and today we're actually getting ready for work. So it is
It is 1:10 p.m.
and I got called into the hospital to work. So we are going to start this work vlog right here at my house. We're going to go here. I'm going to go get something to eat, and then I'm going to head on to the hospital. So I got called about 12. Actually, I was down staff this morning. So what that basically means is that I was scheduled to work today, a whole 12 hours. But because of the fact that they did not need me, I got down staff. They didn't have enough patients. Now they have enough patients. They have 12 with the 13th and 14th coming. We get 3 nurses at 13 patients, so they asked me to be on my way. If you've seen my vlogs before, I live about an hour and a half away from the hospital, so, or hour, 15 minutes, hour and a half, depending on this time of the day. In the afternoon, it may be hour and a half to get there. So I'm about to go get lunch because by the time I get to the hospital, the cafeteria is going to be closed and I wouldn't be able to eat. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Chick-fil-A, get some lunch, and head to the hospital to work for only about 4 hours. So, I'm not going to complain about it because it's working and I didn't have to work a whole 12. But as you can see right here, I would have did a get ready with me, but I don't have time. No makeup on right now. This is what I look like in raw form. My brows are not groomed at the moment, but I'm gonna finish getting ready and then we'll be out the door. All right, and just like that, I'm ready. I have no makeup. Well, I do have on some concealer under my eye. I do have my mascara on and a lip balm on. That is all we're doing for today because I'm not going to spend all that time trying to get, as cute as I usually am and just for 4 hours, if that, because again, I got to get down there and I don't know how traffic's going to be. So let's go ahead and head to Chick-fil-A so we can get something to eat before we start this shift because I can't be hungry and go into a mess at the hospital. I can already tell you when I get there, it's going to be a mess. So I might as well be full. All right, let's go. All right, so we are now in the car. I have my clipboard, check. I have my badge, check. And I have my stethoscope, check. And one thing I need that a girl can't go without is, for one, her good pens, which I need to put some more in my pocket, and some type of lip balm or gloss or something. So we're going to use this one today. Just what I have on my lips right now, this Laneige. It's really like it's a lip glowy balm, and I use this religiously. So this is what we're going to wear today. And like I said, we are headed to the hospital. No, we're not. We're headed to Chick-fil-A. All right, so let's chat while we head to Chick-fil-A. I haven't been able to tell you what my plans are, so not really. So in the last video, the last work vlog, I had said that that's probably going to be my last one. I don't know when my last one's going to be. I thought that I would get down staff for the whole shift today, and honestly, the next few shifts are Mondays as well, which Mondays we typically only need 2 nurses. So typically I'm going to be down staff on those shifts as well, but since I don't know, we will see. I am going into academia full-time in the fall. Starting August 7th is my first day on the job, at my new job. And because of COVID, we are actually going to be working a lot from home, which is great. So that means I can make the same money I need to make, but do it from home. And with the schools going back to school in the fall or in August, we really don't know how that's going to play out, whether it's going to be a traditional classroom setting. So for me being at home, that would be great. And obviously working at the hospital is not conducive for that. It's not conducive for, like today, as an example, I had to get a sitter to watch my kids because why? I have to head to the hospital. My nose is itching. Got allergies. Anyway, I have to head to the hospital. And imagine having to do that all the time, where you're trying to find childcare, where you get down staff, so you tell your sitter they're not needed, and then you have to tell your sitter, oh yeah, well I do need you. So that puts them on call all day and puts me on call all day. So I'm tired of that. And I know I won't say complain, but I know I tell you all that it's time for me to get away from bedside. And it is time for me to get away from bedside, but I don't want to discourage anyone who wants to become a nurse and go into bedside, or you're going to go into bedside probably, but be a bedside nurse. It's not a bad thing. It's just that I have did my time. I've did 16 years in the game, and it's time for me to move on out. So in this video, and you're like, okay, well, I want to be a nurse and I'm in nursing school and this is discouraging. Don't be discouraged by it because you haven't paid your due, so to speak. I've worked day shift, night shift, middle of the shift, 1 o'clock at night to 1 o'clock in the morning. I've worked doubles. I've worked 4 and 5 days a week at the hospital. I've had very little sleep. I've missed holidays. I've missed weekends. I've missed everything. So I've already paid my dues, so to speak. And so I just feel like it's just time for me to come on out. So again, you will have your time when you are like over it. You'll be over it. And when you are over it, you will come to the same conclusion that I have come to, and many of us before me, during me, and after me will come to, that this is time for you to hang this up and do something else. So again, don't be discouraged by this. This is nothing against nursing in general. It's just that when you've done this for so long, as with anything in life, when you do something for so long, it's time to either it's usually time to move on. I'm going to teach full-time, which that's what I have been doing part-time anyway for the past 15 years, is teaching. And for me, and I am getting a divorce, which many of you, if you watch my narcissist videos, already know. But I'm about to be, or actually am functioning as a single parent. So since I'm functioning again as a single parent, I have to make those decisions and those choices based off of that. So based off of that, I have to make those decisions that who's going to take care of the kids, you know. Nursing is not conducive to single parenting. It's just not. Now, can it be done? Yes, if you have a great support system, it can be done. But I'm also the type of person where I like to take care of my kids myself for the most part. And I don't rely on other people to help me with my kids. So if I could have a job in which I could be mostly home and rely on people very seldom, then that would be great. And that's what I want to do. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. All right, so we are now headed into Chick-fil-A. Our Chick-fil-A is not open on the inside. It's only open through drive-through. So we're going to go ahead and eat lunch. So while we wait, I'm tired of bedside anyway. As you all know, I'm tired of the politics of the hospital. I'm tired of all that. But in addition to that, taking care of my kids is more important than trying to just stay at a hospital just to get experience. And to be honest with you, if I'm going to be doing clinicals with nursing students anyway, and I'm not far removed from the bedside because I'm doing clinicals with students, I will still get my clinical, my skill set in, because I'm going to be teaching students how to do the very thing we do in nursing. Anyway, so that's just something for you all to think about as you all move towards your careers in nursing. I'm not trying to discourage anyone, but I'm definitely wanting to let's see, I guess I'll go in this lane. All right, so I have my food. As you can see, we are now headed to work. So I will check in with you a little later when I clock in. All right, so I am back. I am at the hospital. As you all can see, I'm at the hospital. They just called and asked, or they just text me and asked me where was I at. You know, they're wanting me to be here. I'm moving as fast as I'm gonna move. So it is what it is. They know I live an hour and a half away, and that's contingent upon the time of the day that they call in traffic. So I have to drive between 3 or 4 different cities just to get here. So it was kind of like, okay, well, if I can get here, I'll get here. But you call me in the middle of rush hour traffic in the afternoon, it's gonna take longer. That's just how that goes with the commute. All right, so we are walking in the hospital. There's the morgue again. Feel good. So I gotta put up with their mess. I don't say their mess. I gotta put up with being hungry. Being hungry is not good when you have to come into work and they already rushing you to get here because they swamped. It is what it is. So anyway, we're gonna see how this works out. I'm only gonna be working for about 4 hours, so I'll check back in. All right, I am back for an update. It is now 5:45 in the afternoon. When I tell you I came into a shit show, and I don't even talk like that, but I came into a shit show. So I came in, they were already upset with me because of the fact that it takes me so long to get here. That's first and foremost. Second, I find out I'm getting a GYN patient, so I'll clock in at 2:40 in the afternoon. And so I clock in at 2:40 in the afternoon, and they say you're getting a surgery patient. So I said, okay. I call, get the surgery patient. They bring her down by 3. The first red flag for me was they said that she only got Dilaudid and she only got 1 milligram and she didn't have a PCA. All surgery patients coming from the PACU have PCAs for the most part. So that was odd to me. She then gets here and the patient's in pain, thriving in pain, pain of a 8. And I go look at her orders and realize she has no pain medication ordered at all. I had to call the doctor, tell him that his orders did not go through. The nurse who gave her to me said, oh, well, I don't know what to tell you. I gave her what we had and you'll have to call the doctor. Well, as you know, calling the doctor is a process and you have to wait and get orders. Could you imagine being in pain and you can't get anything? So then I tell the manager, I say, hey, I said, I have to start a PCA, which we don't do on our floor. We don't start PCAs. So they're supposed to come with one. And so she said, well, I can't help you. Have one of the other 2 nurses help you. I'm like, okay. So the other 2 nurses were getting new admits at the same time as well. I get this new patient. So she's only on the floor for 20 minutes. And they say, Marida, you have a second patient that you're about to get. I was like hell I am. I'm not even going to take no more patients because I can't even get this one taken care of. She just got here. Literally just got here. I cannot get her taken care of. She's in pain. I need a PCA. And you tell me I'm taking another patient? Nope. I'm not doing it. So the manager heard that and she was just like, well, she has to come over here. I said, then help me set up this PCA. She said, well, the other 2 nurses can help you with that. She walks off the floor. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, the other 2 nurses, of course, are getting taken care of their patients. So therefore, they can't. And my patient's thriving, like thrashing. Is that the word? Thrashing in pain. The bed is shaking. She's crying. And we can't get this PCA set up. We're trying to get it set up for her. And then, of course, everything goes wrong with it. The machine doesn't work. It reads as occluded on patient side. We've flushed. We've did everything we can. It's the most frustrating thing ever. It took over an hour. She was screaming, find somebody else who can help me. This is the patient. And she was crying, got to the point that I started crying. And I don't cry unless I'm angry, typically. But in this case, I was crying because of the fact that this person is African American. And African Americans get worse health care than our counterparts. And today we played it right into that by looking like all of us were incompetent because we could not get this PCA to work. 5 of us was trying to get this PCA to work and we couldn't get it to work. I'm calling people for help and they're like, nope, we're busy. I'm like, okay. And again, it was just about getting the thing to start. It took 5 nurses for us to get 5 nurses and 2 machines later. An hour later, imagine being in pain of a 20 out of 10. I'm just exaggerating because that's how she looked. The only thing I can do is try to do service recovery at this point, trying to make sure we get things better. I call management, she's not coming. So the assistant manager comes and says, what do we need to do to help her? She kind of helped got the ball rolling. So then I was like, okay, well, let's see if we can get her something else for pain while we're trying to get this machine to work. And by the time I'm calling the doctor to get the extra medication, they got the machine to finally work. It took an hour. She had surgery at 2 something. We didn't get it working until 4 or 5 4 something. Yeah, it's been working for about an hour now. Her pain is now a 6, so she's doing good. I only got the 1 patient since I'm here. I leave in an hour. One thing after another. Then we found out the hot water ain't working. I'm like, we're trying to clean her up and make her feel fresh. Hot water ain't even working. And I'm kind of like, when was y'all gonna tell us the hot water don't work? Oh, we forgot to tell y'all that. Everything that could have went wrong today went wrong. And to want to care for somebody, but you can't care for them because you can't do nothing to help them. I'm telling you, I was tore up about that. So I've spent my time in there trying to basically, like I said, do service recovery. Whatever they want, they can have. And I'm not even a nurse that does stuff like that. But this situation got to me. And I could not fathom being in that much pain. And you got these people trying to figure out how to do something and nobody can get it done. It was the worst 4 hours or 3 hours since I've been here ever. And I've had bad days, plenty of bad days. But it was the worst. It was truly the worst. And now I have to sit here and chart on this patient. And I don't know. It was the worst thing to ever see. And that's pretty much it. And my biggest issue that I have is not so much that the orders dropped, which is the issue. It's not so much that the PACU nurse didn't do her job, which is an issue. The fact of the matter that I asked for help from numerous people and they did not help, that's the issue for me. We don't start PCAs over here. We don't. They come with them already going. So since we don't start them, none of us know how to really start them. We can maintain them, but we don't start them. And this is not the time to be learning. It's just not the time to be learning. So it was very, very frustrating. Again, I can handle a hard day. I can handle patients crying, but to sit there and look at a patient crying and you're trying to help her, and the fact that people said no, they were busy, and they wasn't, and then you're up here complaining to us, to my management, about your patient satisfaction surveys and your scores. What you think this is going to do? What you think this is going to do? Those scores is going to be, from that patient and family, it's going to be terrible. And I don't even know what to say. You know, like, okay, I'm going to have to side with the patient on this one. But I'm just saying, this whole ordeal made me and the nurses I work with look like we had no competence at all. I mean, literally, it took 5 nurses to get this PCA to work. 5. That is uncalled for. If you know somebody, if you know how to do something, come help people out. So when management, I just sit there and bragged on her in another video about how management just stepped right on up and helped us out and just, you know, help relieve. Today, she just walked away and said, get one of the other 2 nurses to help you. Knowing they already had patients coming over. They just had fresh patients. We all 3 had a new admit at the same time. All 3 of us at the same time. They knew that. She knew that. She was here when it happened. And she sat there and walked away. I have no respect for someone who does that. None whatsoever. None. None whatsoever. You worried about patient satisfaction, but at the same time, you're not helping your staff when they need it. If you know how to do something, you help people do it. It don't take, you know, it took us 5 people to get this done. Part of it's due to just machines itself not working properly. But it's been a shit show. A shit show. But just imagine being in pain and you can't get any help. It's kind of sad, isn't it? All right, well, for now, I'm going to go ahead and finish my charting. It is now 6:50, or 5:50, 17:50 in the afternoon. I will see you later in the car, probably. We'll see. I'll check in a little later. All right, I am done for today. It's time to clock out. All right, clocked out 7:19. All right, so it is now 7, I don't know what time it is, 20, it's 19 something. It's late. It's beautiful though, and I'm no longer in tears. It's probably been the worst 4 hours in I wouldn't say my entire nursing career, but it's been bad. It's been very, very bad. I'm glad that it is, where did I even park? I don't even know where I parked at. No, I don't even know where I parked at for real. Where did I park? Child, when you don't lose your, I think I found, oh, I'm looking right at my car. So anyway, there it is. You see, I look like a hot mess. This is what happens when you work as a nurse and you had a rough shift and you really look like what you've been through. This is what it looks like when you look like what you've been through. When people say, oh, thank God I don't look like what I've been through. I look like what I've been through today. I have. All right, so it is, let's see what time it is. It's hot in here. Go ahead and take this stuff off. Take the badge off. It is 17:29 or 19:29. I can't get this military time together today. But anyway, my hair is a complete disaster. You hear me? Look at this. This is how you know you've been working today. This is not what I looked like this morning or this afternoon when I went in. Nothing. I look like I done sweated out the wig. Anyway, today was very, very difficult for me, but At the end of the shift, we all laughed about it. It was nothing to laugh about at first. We was like literally um almost in tears. I mean, we were sitting in that room. It was probably about 5 nurses deep trying to figure out how to do a PCA. And I guarantee you, we look like we graduated yesterday. We look like we graduated yesterday because we were feeding off of her energy. She was so flustered with the fact that she was in pain. We couldn't do nothing about it. We fed off of that energy. And so in hindsight, what we should have did was just take the PCA and everything out of her room, reset things up while we were by ourselves so that we could focus on getting it done instead of, not doing things right. But it is what it is. It's done now. And honestly, by the end of the shift, she was very happy. And she thanked me at the end of the shift. When you're in pain, you're going to be in pain and you're going to act accordingly. So imagine someone not taking care of your pain needs and your pain's a 20 out of 10. I'm just exaggerating, but it's a 20 out of 10. It's bad. You're going to act like that. So I wasn't mad at her, and I wasn't expecting her to understand the fact that it should have been done before she even got to us, but it is what it is. So this was bittersweet. This was probably, I have maybe 1.5 shifts left, maybe. I'm done for the month of July, so this is probably, unless they call me with some incentive pay to come in here, unless they call me saying they're going to offer some double incentive or time and a half or something, you will not see me no more in July. So this is my last shift in July. I put all my shifts together so I can get it out the way. And that's the reason why I have so many shifts back to back, is because I was just basically trying to get my shifts done so I can enjoy the rest of the month off. My kids start school at the beginning of August, and I start my job August 7th, as I told you before. So I really wanted to kind of be done with the hospital for a little while so I could focus on my new chapter. And then, like I said, I have a couple of more shifts, or maybe 2.5 more shifts, if that, and if that's if I work. And that's pretty much it. So that's what we are going to do. Thank you so much for watching this video and listening to me vent, especially today. Today was a day. For 4 hours, I was like, I can get through anything. That like to kill me. I'm so happy that God did not have me come in here for 12, because I would have acted a complete fool. A complete fool. I was already acting a fool anyway, but a complete fool if I had been here for 12 hours, because I just don't have any patience for stuff like this. But anyway, thank you so much for watching these videos. Thumbs this up, subscribe if you have not already, like, comment, share. I am a real nurse. When I say real nurse, I'm not talking about how they spell RN, real nurse. I'm talking about real nurse, meaning that I am not going to show you just the good of nursing. I'm going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly of nursing and what we endure, or at least someone who's been a nurse for 16 years endure. It's not great every day. I'm not going to edit out all the bad stuff, because that's not what nursing really is. I'm not going to edit that out. I'm going to tell you exactly what it's like and hopefully give you a realistic view of what we go through as nurses. And this is not even an OB thing. This is just a nurse thing. And anyway, follow me on IG. I'll have the banner somewhere. Not the banner, but the, you know what I'm trying to say. I have it on there. Thank you so much. Until the next time, y'all take care. Bye-bye. I ended this video already, but this thing still bothers me. Today, we looked like, collectively, we probably had a good 100 years worth of nursing service between me and those nurses. Today, we look like we graduated yesterday. And I know I just said that. I just said we look like we graduated yesterday, but we really did. We look like we had just passed the boards. No, we look like we graduated last week and passed the boards yesterday. That's how bad we looked. And that's no shade towards someone who's new. The point is, though, when you are new and inexperienced, you would act the way we acted today. And that's normal for you, but not normal for someone who has nurses who have 100 years plus experience between them, if that makes sense. I've been a nurse for 16 years. Some nurses I was working with have been a nurse for about the same. Another nurse been a nurse for 30 or 40 years. So you've added up all our experience together. 5 nurses it took for us to get that situation taken care of. And like I was saying before, African Americans do not fare well at all when it comes to healthcare outcomes. And today we played right into that and her thinking, okay, we have had patients who said, because I'm black, I'm not going to get good care. And statistically, they are correct. When you are African American, you are not going to get the same kind of care as your counterpart. Most places, you're going to get subpar care. And I feel like today, we really let that patient down, because if you sit there and watch somebody crying the way she was and thrashing in the bed, like, somebody please help me, find somebody who can help me, because she was in so much pain, and we are really doing the best we can, it's still not enough. Now, like I told you before, she thanked me at the end of the shift, but the only thing I see playing in my head is the fact that we could not take care of her needs. And pain is so fundamental. And it's because of the fact that the people behind the scenes that she don't even know dropped the ball. And that's what the embarrassment is, because they dropped the ball, and I guarantee you this is going to come off on our floor, you know, as we did something wrong. This whole thing started in PACU. It wasn't just a our floor issue. They knew she needed something beyond 1 milligram Dilaudid. 1 milligram. They knew she needed more than that. That's not going to hold anybody after having an abdominal surgery type thing, you know, type of incision. Well, kind of. So anyway, I don't want to belabor what I was saying, but you know, I really felt incompetent and embarrassed for the fact of me being a registered nurse, because of the fact that we could not help her because someone dropped the ball. And once your pain gets out of control, it's very hard, or it takes time to get that pain control, get it back. And I don't know, when I left, her pain was a 6, which 6 is great compared to how she was, because she was actually talking and more calm and not as anxious, and she has anxiety as well. So but yeah, 6 was where I left her with pain, which I'm happy about. And like I said, that 6 was wonderful. I'll take that 6 any day over what I was seeing today. I've never seen anything like that in terms of somebody. Actually, I have, but in this other situation that we had, she had pain control. It just wasn't working well for her, versus someone who is in pain and we can't even get them anything for pain. That was just so disheartening. So anyway, that's it for now. For real this time. So until the next video, you all take care. Bye-bye.